All right, the Reds. Friday's talking Reds. You're having a nightmare there with that cup of tea, aren't you, wee man?
You're a grass. Brought some digestives, and I've made a mess. It's like, what do you do when the digestive falls into the tea? That's why everyone's come on here to watch Talking Reds to find
Spoon
out.
It out, I reckon.
Yeah, and I couldn't do that, so I just had to trying to drink it, and yeah, it's gone wrong. But
anyway, not going to lie to you, it's been a bit of a mad, hectic week, and I was kind of looking forward to this. I thought, we can dial it down a little bit. We'll still be talking about footy all the time, but it's not as hectic because there's no matches and all that. And I can't work out why it's hectic. Maybe it's just my mind, but anyway, here we are.
It's been really busy, hasn't it?
It's been dead busy.
I think because this is the time when most of the people at the Anfield Wrap are trying to take holidays or are taking themselves off. It feels as if the office has been pretty empty recently. You can't see it, but we're filming ourselves, which is really weird.
Yeah. So if it's weird and if the framing's weird or it just, something doesn't quite look right, it's literally because there's no cameraman. Craig set it up, ran round, and now here we are talking to it. And so we've no idea whether the sound's good, whether the vision's good, but we'll just go with it and see what happens.
Imagine you'd been cut out of the frame and it was just me.
Just you talking to yourself. It could well be that. Who knows? But yeah, okay. So what footy have we got to talk about? Do you know what? We'll do a plug first because we always do the plugs, and why not? Wanted to plug the pro view that we did yesterday with Stephen Warnock. The first one that we did the other week, where we were reviewing his career, if you like, now that he's retired, was brilliant. He really opened up. He told some great stories, and he was the same again yesterday. So we went through when he was picked for the England 2010 World Cup squad. So we talked about Capello, talked about John Terry, talked about what it was like being in that camp. Obviously some players came out afterwards and said it was a bit of a boot camp and it was boring and Capello was too strict and all this sort of stuff. So we got Steve's views on that. Also what it was like to play under Neil Warnock, who isn't Liverpool fans' favourite son, obviously, and some other bits and bobs, weird stuff that went on at Leeds, a little bit about his time at Wigan. So again, it's really opened up, really interesting listen, and a good listen over the summer as well, because he was talking about England World Cups and all the rest of it, so it was really relevant. On the subject of World Cups, seamless link, Egypt are playing today, and the latest on Salah is that he's expected to be on the bench. By the time we get this out, it's probably all over anyway. But, but let's pretend it's not. It's also his birthday today. He's 26, so all the best.
Happy birthday, Mo.
All the best.
Watcher.
All the best, Mo lad. And also as well, there's a new Anfield Wrap t-shirt due any minute. It might arrive in a big package behind us as we're speaking, who knows. But it's a belter. It's basically... have you seen the one that's on the shop or has been on the shop in recent times, where it's Mo's name in Arabic? Yeah. It's an Egypt version now of that, with the flag sort of faded and into the background, if you like. So it's a bit of a World Cup one. It's Egypt shirts in Liverpool are like rocking or shit right now. You just can't get one.
It's a joke, isn't it?
Everyone's supporting Egypt.
There's even been rumours in the city. I've heard rumours of Mike Ashley and Sports Direct getting loads of Egypt kits in today. I really hope no one's made that rumour up, because it's a really bad rumour. But you can't get them. I've been trying to get the black Egypt shorts. If anyone knows where to get these, let us know. Say in the comments, because we read them, because I really want them. They're dead cool. I think when you were in Egypt, you came close to buying an Egypt top.
I did, yeah. And then my missus said, you're in your 40s, lad, and it's a bit weird, so don't buy a replica shirt, because you've got children and they don't want to go, oh, Dad!
They're doing that enough. and then you've got Gibbo, he's made a revelation in the office there that he went on a bit of a night out with Steve Armstrong, was it?
Yeah.
And afterwards he's come home, he's been on the internet, and he's bought loads of World Cup tops.
He's basically bought every team in the World Cup. He's bought their top, but off some mad site in Thailand, so they're not real, you know what I mean, the blag ones. But he's bought every team shirt, and he's no idea when they're going to come, if indeed they ever are going to come. So more on that as we have it.
He's basically going to get this World Cup shirts by the time the next World Cup's on. So happy days.
I know, mad. The other thing that's happened is that Liverpool have announced another friendly. So on the 7th of August they'll play Torino at Anfield, and that's now sort of completed their pre-season fixture list, if you like. So it reads, and it's quite mad this. It starts before the World Cup ends. Chester on July the 7th, Tranmere on July the 11th, Bury on the 14th, Blackburn on the 19th, and then over to America. And we're going, by the way, we'll be over there. We're going to be doing live shows. We're going to be going to the matches. We're going to try and grab players, the manager, whatever we can. We'll be doing loads of content, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so the first one in America is Dortmund on the 22nd in Charlotte, then Man City on the 26th, Manchester United on the 28th in Michigan, and then Napoli in Dublin on August the 4th, and then Torino August the 7th, and then the week after that the season starts. So it's not long to wait before you're watching a bit of footy again.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Like that's it. It hasn't stopped. I feel like we didn't really have that much of a break, and then you've got the fixtures. So you're thinking about the fixtures. You're looking at like what games you want to go to, what aways, and all of that, and you know when Everton is, when United is. And then you've got the pre-season, like 7th of July. It's so soon.
I know.
And as for America, like it's really, really exciting. I think.
Yeah, good that.
We'll be sorting out the live shows next week. I think they'll be up online. It's looking like Charlotte, Detroit, and New York. Just
exciting.
Sort of, confirming everything at the minute. But yeah,
come and see us. Come and have a bevy.
Yeah,
come and have a laugh. I mean, look, you know, the live shows thing is still mad for me. Like, you know, the first one we ever did was Bray, which we initially thought was in Dublin, and it isn't. It's nowhere near it. But we had the boss laugh, and the people who were there still talk about being one of those people who were at that first show. And then it's developed and developed from there, and it works. Honestly, it works. Everyone who comes along has a laugh, enjoys themselves, and that's what it's all about. So we're really looking forward to those shows. Going to be good. The other thing we're pushing at the moment is that we're having a game of Footgolf over on the Whittle on July the 13th. It's to raise money for Whittle Ark. So here's a little bit with Whittle Ark on why we're doing it, what it's all about, and how you can get involved. Okay, I'm with Aidan Jamal, the Chief Executive of Whittle Ark. We've been banging on that we're going to be in this Footgolf tournament, so I thought it'd be worth getting you in, mate, just to have a chat about what Whittle Ark is and why we're raising money and why we're supporting this Footgolf tournament. I think everyone gets what Footgolf is now, understands that we're getting involved, that there's a quiz, that there's food, that there's beer, that it's on the 13th of July at 4 p.m. at the Warren on the Whittle. But yeah, tell us a bit about Whittle Ark then, please.
Yeah, sure. So we're a homeless charity based on the Wirral, covering clients that actually come from all over Merseyside. We were founded 25 years ago, originally as a kind of just a temporary night shelter, and we grew from that, and eventually we've opened a number of short-term accommodation places like hostels and houses. Clients come to us when they're basically in crisis, so they've been sleeping rough on the streets, they've been sleeping on the mate's sofa. They arrive at us, what we do is basically put them on the feet, sort them out, find a place for them to go. They're with us for 3 or 4 months normally. You know, we'll find if they've got problems finding work, we'll help them with that. If they've got problems with drinking drugs, we'll help them with that. And hopefully, when they leave us, they're in a place to get a bit more of a sustained lifestyle going forward.
Great stuff. So we've got Pauline, who's hiding behind the camera laughing. You've took her on to help with fundraising, and it's Pauline who's organising this tournament. What is it you need extra funds for? Like, so people who take part in this, who enter the team in it, where's this money going to go and what's it going to do for the organisation?
Sure, so what the government pays for is essentially the roof over someone's head, and what the additional funding that we get pays for is all the other supplemental services that people need. So when people come to us, they've not been in touch with their family for a year, they haven't held down a job for 10 years, all of that support services that we need to put together to get them back into some sort of sustained way, that's where the extra funding goes. It also allows us to do pilot projects, new projects that aren't being funded elsewhere, because many of these things that we do, we have to take risks, we have to try new things. That doesn't get funded again by the government, so we have to find our own funds in order to try these new things. Okay,
and if there's people watching who maybe haven't heard of Whittle Ark before, like the idea of what you're doing and the sounds of it, and maybe want to help out, do you need volunteers, do you need help? Is there other ways people can help the organisation?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have one main hostel over in Birkenhead, and we always need volunteers to help out there. People can help with befriending, where they get to know 1 or 2 clients and spend a bit of time supporting them. They can help out with cooking. They can help out in terms of practical donations, so like toiletries and bedding and dining and stuff and things like that. Or if they really want to, they can come over and help in the office, because we have fundraising to do and finances to do and things like that. What we tend to do is we'll find the role for the person, so if somebody wants to get involved beyond just fundraising, give us a call, we'll find a way for you to get involved.
Great stuff. All right, so the details again then, Footgolf tournaments on the 13th of July, 4 o'clock kick-off at the Warren on the Whittle. Food at 4 o'clock, kick-off, start playing Footgolf 5 o'clock. More food. Loads of food and a sports quiz at 7 o'clock, and that will be ourselves, the Anfield Wrap, and the Blue Room. So there's a bit of Liverpool-Everton needle going on. We all love a little bit of that. It's 40 quid per person, teams of 4, £160. For more details and to enter, it's arkfootgolf.uk. So get involved, get down there, we'll see you there, we'll have a bevy, we'll have a game of foot golf, and we'll raise some money for a good cause. Okay, so yeah, if you can get along and you can have a game of foot golf on the 13th, please do, because it should be a laugh. It's food, drink, everything else, and a chance to show how good you are with your left or your right peg. Okay, what else has been going on today? Shows out there from the Anfield app. The City Talk show will be out there free as ever. AFQ will be out there, the Madness where we answer questions off Twitter, and the Gutter will be out there where we talk about all the latest transfer gossip. A couple of other things I wanted to talk about before we go, stuff in the papers today. Love this, love it all day. Apparently Mourinho is pissed off about the fixtures. Of course he is. Of course he is. It says, according to the Times, Jose Mourinho has been left angered by Liverpool's Premier League fixtures, with Jurgen Klopp's side having been given 6 home games in the weekend slots that follow Champions League group matches next season. I mean, we're away before we play every one of those games, so I guess Jurgen Klopp might be angered by that. But yeah, Mourinho's cooking up a conspiracy theory, it sounds like, because United, City and Spurs have all been given an even split of 3 homes and 3 aways on those very same match days, making Liverpool's schedule appear somewhat easier. Guardiola and, say his name.
No, you say his name.
Pochettino?
I think
is that all right?
It's the best you've done so far.
It normally sounds like a coffee when I say his name. But yeah, they're believed to be relaxed about the situation. They're not arsed, but Mourinho is, and he's noted the disparity. It says here that he's made frequent complaints about the club's fixture schedules over the years, and he's likely to address the issue during the season. Ooh, oh no!
Do you know what though? Like, he's meant to be on holidays at the minute. Like, just have a nice time by a pool. Have like have a daiquiri or something. Just enjoy yourself. Instead, he's probably sat on that top floor of that hotel he apparently lives in Manchester, just sat miserable.
I think he's had the World Cup, isn't
angered.
He's had the World Cup. He's kicking around getting pictures with Putin and stuff, and not looking very happy.
It's a bit moody, that, isn't it?
It is a bit moody, but also a bit moody. Some other news in the Times today. The FA, I'm not going to get bang into the politics over this. You can judge the politics yourself. I'm talking about the football now, right? We're talking about the football, Craig, okay? Football. Don't do the politics bit, because you know what they're like in the comments. So, I'll read this out. The FA is proposing an overhaul of the loan system that would limit loans between top-flight clubs to British and Irish players after Brexit, as part of its attempt to reach an agreement with the Premier League and the government over new immigration rules for footballers. The governing body views the UK's departure from the EU on March 29th next year as a chance to increase the opportunities for native players within Premier League squads, whereas the club's priority is to maintain access to as wide a range as possible. A wide range of talent as possible. The FA will not push for a formal quota system, despite comments from the chairman Greg Clark that he wants to make it more difficult for journeymen foreign players to join English clubs after next year. It goes on and on, there's absolutely loads of it, but what a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
I mean, as I say, I'm not doing the politics here, I'm just simply saying to you, I like watching all the players that have been playing for Liverpool over the years, and I don't care where they're from. I just like the ones who are good at football, and some of the ones I've enjoyed, the most have been players like Mascherano. Absolutely love Mascherano. Yeah. Fernando Torres. Go all the way back to Jan Molby, whatever. There's been plenty. Why are we having a conversation in 2018 about let's just have British and Irish players going from here to there on loan and stuff like that? we broke down these barriers years ago, didn't we? And we're all enjoying the Premier League, and we're all enjoying the fact that we buy boss players, get to see them play football, represent our team, represent our club. Seems a huge backward step, that, if that happens, doesn't it?
That backward step and Brexit, those two things together.
Aye.
Sorry, I'm not saying any more because I'll just get political.
I know, it just can't. Look, you work it out for yourselves, but it doesn't sound great, does it? It sounds absolutely wild, is what I would say. I mean, it's. I remember when we flogged. Once upon a time, we flogged Steve Staunton because you had quotas back then about, you know, how many foreigners you could have in your squad, and Republic of Ireland was classed as foreign, and so we had, like, Steve Staunton got the bullets from the squad, and like Souness basically said he was decent enough, but I had to do something with the quota.
Do you know the only thing that would come out of it is, you know, if it had been back whenever we signed Monkeo on loan, it might have prevented us from having to watch him play for Liverpool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any positives out of this.
Judge it as you will. I think we've handled that, you know, as well as we can. We didn't get into no. I'm absolutely fed up of even hearing the word Brexit. Honest to God, like, just the constant discussion around it, just like. But when it's starting to affect the game, and we talk about the game, then sometimes we're going to have to mention it, I guess. But there you go. Anyway, loads of talking points there. Feels like we've done Talking Reds justice. You need to sort that cup out.
I know, yeah. I'm just. Have you got World Cup fever now?
A little bit, yeah.
Are you in?
Yeah,
fully into
a little
it,
bit, yeah. Because like I didn't really get to watch the match yesterday or the opening ceremony or anything like that because we were recording. But what I liked was when I came back into the office from downstairs from recording, like, you had set up like a little telly in the office and it was on, and I was like, yeah, like, this is good.
It eventually turned into, it felt like the living room by the end of it.
It was a bit weird when the news was on. Yeah, that was a bit weird. But no, I'm into it now, and like I'm into the idea of hopefully later today nipping into town and watching Spain and Portugal, and I want to go and find a pub where it's like chocker and it's like all people who wouldn't ordinarily watch footy, who've all come out for a pint, and hopefully it brightens up a little bit. And yeah, I love it. I think it's great, and I like it. I watched some of the highlights last night, and you know, starting to get into they have a little tune and they have a little panel and they have all graphics and all that, don't they? That you, as the World Cup goes on, you buy into it and you get into it. So yeah, I'm into it. I don't know what I'm doing with it in terms of who I like and I dislike. I'm not, as I said before, not really bothered about England. Don't particularly dislike any of the players or the manager right now, but equally I'm not like, woo, England are playing and like that. Quite like to watch Mo, but it sounds like he's going to be on the bench. But yeah, I said yesterday, I think, or the day before, I'm looking forward to seeing Uruguay, you know.
I think the tournament, I don't know whether it's the fact that we had the Champions League final to think about so late and so close to the tournament, and then we had the fact that we got beaten in the Champions League final to think about. I didn't get in the mood this year for the World Cup, which isn't like me because usually I'm buzzing for it. But it's as soon as we set up the little TV and we were watching Russia, and obviously Russia scoring a few goals, and it's
defending by Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they well, in the Russian newspapers it was saying that basically the Russian journalists were saying that Russia didn't have a hope, and that
that's what I said, and I got abuse for saying it on this. They're like, oh yeah, see, your position went well there, Robbo, about the home nation.
Honestly,
I didn't realise Saudi Arabia were that crap.
Yeah, they were. I'm certain in the last World Cup they got trounced maybe by Germany. Maybe it was the World Cup before, but I don't think they have a very good record in the World Cup. But yeah, now that I watched that and saw like all the fans celebrate and everything, it's got me excited for today's fixtures. I'm basically trying to get you and Gibbo to go to the Liverpool pub to watch the Uruguay game. Call it lunch.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think we should. That's what the World Cup's about.
Let's do it. Let's have some dinner in the booze and watch the match. That sounds like a boss idea. We probably could have done this admin off air.
This just turned into our chat, didn't it?
Just a chat.
Filmed by us.
Yeah, it's because there's no cameraman going like, jib this, boys.
Anything can happen. What should we do next?
Should I have a cup of tea? That's been Talking Reds. We'll be back next week, and we'll have a cameraman next week, so up the Reds.